Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the third day of the year. Friday the 3rd, 2025. Gonna have to really get used to saying that. As of right now, I am talking to a blind screen. So I'm basically just talking to myself this morning, unless someone happens to look down at their phone and see that they got a notice or something. Maybe not, somebody just happened to come on. Whatever the reason, someone may come on this morning to listen to me. Um, Thank you for being here. And this morning, for the last couple of days, my family kind of been going through it a little bit. And I didn't, especially my son, it's his story. So I'm not going to tell his story. And it's just, as I look at it now, it is just so amazing what God can do and what God will do. In church Tuesday night, the pastor was speaking on pressing on. Excuse me. The pastor was talking about pressing on. And normally, when my pastor is praying, when he's preaching about something, when he's teaching about something, it's a lesson in it for somebody. And if it's not for you at that time, it's going to be for you sooner rather than later. And he used to tell us that all the time. And Tuesday night, he said something that I say all the time. There's three types of people. You're either going through something, you're on your way to something, you're already in something, and you're coming out of something. That's life. That's the storms of life. And sometimes you could just be in a storm and get out. And soon as you get out of one storm, there's something else facing you. So life, yes, life do be lifing. And, you know, there's some people out there that got some issues that's real to them. And that's basically was mine, is mine, because I think every emotion that a person can have or do have, I haven't experienced all of them. You know, I haven't lost my mom and dad, but I've lost my dad. So I experienced that emotion with loss with my dad. But sometimes when you're going through, it's not even you that have to be going through anything. It could be a mother and a child. A child could be going through something, and when your child is going through something, I'm gonna explain the type of son that I have. If it makes any difference, my son is an Aries. I don't know what Aries are. My son and my granddaughter are Aries. My son is quiet. He's I don't like to say antisocial. I don't like to say that word. You know, he's in a sense he's like I am. I don't like being around a lot of people. So he don't like being around a lot of people. And he really is quiet. He's not like out in the street. He'll work, he'll go out, he got his friends. They go out to him, me like me go shoot pool, go to somebody else's house and play, get on the game and stuff like that. However, he just had a moment. He's just going through a moment. And I thank God for that. I thank God that he's going through, because he is so, like, I don't want nobody to do nothing for me. I don't want to feel like I'm a burden on anybody, that type of stuff. And as the pastor was saying about pressing on, and when you're pressing on, that means you really got to have strength to even press, because pressing means like just keep going, just no matter what's in front of you, you just keep going. And sometimes it just feels like what's pressing, even though you're pressing to move forward, there's always something in the way. It's always something in the way. And not only do you have to press, you got to avoid the pit stops that other people drop for you, or things, even in your head sometimes. And my son just, oh my God, he is such a hard nut to crack. But I see some little glimpses of the conversation that I've had with him, with what his sister, what his brother has had with him, have had on him. So I can see there's a little cracking in the shell. And I'm setting up a meeting with him and one of the deacons in my church, because I like this deacon, and he needs spiritual. I told my son, you need some spiritual guidance that I, as a mother and a woman, cannot give you. So I asked one of my deacons, will he pour into my son, give him words of wisdom, to get through this battle. So I have not been on social media, and every now and then I would pop up, and I just popped up this morning just to say, um, we go through life. And I was thinking about this morning, because my son, he's with me for a while until he get his situation, get a situation cleared up. And when he get that cleared up, I know he's going to be okay, and he's going to be okay. But it's just that process. It's just getting to that point. So he's here, and we don't talk much, because he don't talk. And it's like when you're talking to him, sometimes it feels like you're pulling teeth, trying to get, because my son, you say, well, how was your day? It was all right, it was good. He's not going to elaborate. He's not going to do nothing but answer that question. And it's like, okay, what's on your mind? Nothing. And you just get these one word answers. And so I know how he is, and everybody in our family know how he is. So if for me not to get frustrated, I have to, because in a way, Hakeem and my son and I are just alike. We are similar but I think I'm not a very sensitive person. When I cry, there's some real emotions behind that. And I don't think I'm overly sensitive. That's the word I should use. Overly sensitive. And that's where my concern is lying now, going through something with a family member. And I couldn't understand it. And so this morning, when I was taking him to work, it just came to me, as a mom, as a mother, you don't like to see your children go through anything. You don't want it to, when they were growing up, you just say, well, when they get grown, when they become adults, all of worrying will be over, and all of the nervousness, and you still want the best for them always. But as they grew, they became independent. So and I thought, okay, now my problems, my worry as a mom when they were growing up is over. It's just a different level of issues that they have now. So, and that's where it is with my son. But I thank God, that He has equipped me to be a helpmate to my son. Not to be no crutch for him, but just to let him know that you do have a village, and that you're not, by yourself, because he is sort of a loner, and um don't want you to do this for him. And with my talk, when I was talking to him, and I was telling him that he has to be humble. He has to humble himself, and you got to do right by the people that do right by you, and that's for you. You got to do right by them. And he understood what I was saying. So the pressing on, I didn't understand it. I was listening to the sermon. And I was listening, and could go back in the Bible, go back in Philippians and read, what was said. But now I'm living what it's saying about press on. And sometimes when you have to press on, your pressing on might not even be about anything that's going on with you. It could be you might need to press on to help someone else, call on God for strength to help someone else, to move forward. And that's where I am. That's why I am. And it was just dropped. It's like I was driving this morning, and it just dropped in my spirit. Okay, now the crying and all of that is over, and now it's time to move on, move forward, and press on, press on. So I am so glad. I'm gonna tell you, I just popped on this morning because this was really inside of me, and and it really don't matter if nobody don't even watch this. You know, it's just me getting it out, and just hope somebody just come across it, and what I'm saying they can understand, and what I'm saying, and maybe they may feel like I've been going through that too. So now just connect with people in some type of way, because there's some real stuff going on with people, and outside of YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, and it's real life. And we shouldn't just get all caught up in somebody else's life when things are and some of the stuff is just mind blowing, it's mind boggling, but it's entertainment, and that's what they do. That's what they do, and I sort of kind of entertain it too. But I'm stepping back for a little minute, because I gotta, with the help of God, I got to get my family intact. When one person is out of sync, it makes um a not so cohesive group, entity. So one part of the circle is kind of breaking a little bit, and I don't want that. So I'm going to be I am going to be praying. I'm going to be praying. I'm going to be hoping, and I'm going to be expecting. I am praying for the best. I hope for the best, and I expect the best. So I may feel helpless. I don't feel hopeless. And I know this too shall pass. So I press on. I press on. And and I was and it just hit me this morning. I had to, it's almost for me, is with my children, it's like, When they're going through something as an adult, I try not to, because my children tell me sometimes, Mama, you don't know, you kind of harsh with your words sometimes. And but they still always coming to me. So I, for me in this lesson, and there's a blessing in the lesson is that's being taught, and the lesson that is going to be learned. There's for me, it's being more softer with my. Seemed like I had to be softer with my children as an adult than when they were children. So, um, and and that's where I am right now. And I may pop, yeah, I'm gonna pop in and out maybe until February. I'm gonna give February the it won't be looking so bumpy, and the road will be kind of paving out smoothly. So that's what I'm praying and hoping, and expecting a great outcome of this whole situation. So whoever just happens to stumble upon this and just listen through the whole thing, because I too go through things, and when I go through things, I I go through them because that's what's presented to me. So when something is presented to you, and I'm figuring it out, I'm not even trying to figure out what to do or how to do anything. I'm trusting. I'm trusting God when I ask Him to order my steps and give me the direction, and give me the right, just give me the right attitude to have throughout this whole situation, and to strengthen me so that my son see me as strong, as someone that he can lean on at this time. I have to be strong for him so I can pour into him. And I'm to let him know that you are my son. So you come from me. So you're better than this situation. And I know how my son is. So I say what I say, and then I let him think about, because he's a thinker. He don't overthink, he just think. And I feel better now that I have clarity on the whole situation. I have clarity about it. So I thank God for that spiritual insight. So as you go out throughout the day, and as you continue on this journey called life, and as I said, we're only 3 days into 2025, and sometimes you leave everything back in that old year not to pick it up. However, there's some things that was in that old year that needs to be addressed and dealt with. Deal with it. January is a month to. It's like the first of a. This is a new year. Everything might be the same, but everything is not the same. I see it as January being a month that, okay, the slate is clean. Even though you still got situations, things going on, issues going on, situations, and life is still going on. Life is still lifing some people. Some people are still, good morning, Miss Buzz. Some people are still, you know, enjoying life. So there's different stages of what people are doing right now, but nevertheless, life is lifing. Life is doing what life is supposed to do. That's what, like, it goes on and on and on and on. So sometimes we get, as parents, I got comfortable. I really got comfortable because I was saying, Lord, I ain't got to deal with these grown people. That's what they tell me. They grown. These grown people. Touch your nose, mama. But time something happened. Now, I be wanting, and I do tell them sometimes my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. And well, I'm just coming to talk to you. Well, hey, you coming to talk to me with the wrong attitude first. But then sometimes I say, if I feel like the situation warrant for me to be compassionate, have some compassion for them, I will. And however, sometimes when it demands that I say what I want to say, how I want to say it, as my daughter said, you really a black mama. So I but yeah, life be life, and I thank God where I am in this walk of life. This is exactly where He wants me to be at this time, doing what it is that I'm doing and going through what it is that I'm going through. Um, if this didn't happen to me, it would happen to somebody else, and it's happening to someone else, where you have to like stand in the gap for one of your children. All children, go through things and go through things different. As an adult, it's not all about going to jail, drugs, and all of that. Sometimes you have to just talk to your adult kids as adults, but you still know that's my child, and that child know this my mama. So, and I'm not gonna, if I don't know what to do, I thank God He's placed people in my way that do know what to do. And spiritual guidance, when you have spiritual guidance and spiritual clarity, you see things so different because you're not seeing things through the natural eye anymore. You're looking at it through the spiritual. And when you're looking at it through the spiritual, you just say, why did I go through all of these emotions? This is the answer. You see the answer come, things start happening when you get that clarity. Get that clarity. And when you get that, that's the first step to me in healing, because now you know what to do. You can think without all that cloudy and all that mess that go in your mind when you first get into a situation. And when you get that, when I'm telling you, when you get that understanding, when you get that understanding, and you could go forward, you could move forward. Happy New Year to you too. And that's, I got that this morning. I got it this morning. So I am glad. I'm really glad about, oh, that the Holy Spirit just dropped it. Just let me see it. Just let me see it plain as day. Just let me see it. And I thank the Holy Spirit for that. I'm gonna tell you, Miss B, Lady B. I don't know why I call you Miss Bugs. I'm sorry for that. Lady B. And I'm gonna tell you something. Whatever anybody, and for whoever just listened to this afterwards, you know, I don't come on this platform to like make money or try to even build up my subscribers or anything like that, because I don't want to talk about mess, because I never in real life, I was never that person who liked to be in the midst of chaos. I was never that person. And in my adult life, I was that same way. Whatever I got into, I usually got into it with, by myself. I had two best friends, both of them passed away. So they took whatever we did, they took that to the grave. Both of them took that to the grave, never heard a word, you know, and we made a pact that if we ever get angry with each other, we'll never talk about each other or talk about what we did. And we got angry with each other. We never talked about it, but we came right back together. And both of them passed away, and they took that to the grave. And I promised that I would take it to the grave, and I am going to take it to the grave. But that's just how you when you get a clear understanding, and that's what the Holy Spirit is telling me. I never ask for patience. I never ask God for patience. I ask him for endurance. Endurance. Let me endure this, you know. And they said, well, that's the same thing, if not almost the same thing. The wording. So I go by the wording. I never ask God for patience. However, in this situation, I have to be patient because that's my child. I'm not going babying, but there's things that I have to not get frustrated with, you know. So that's the lesson that God is teaching me: patience, endurance, empathy. I talk about empathy all the time. Now I have to display that empathy where I be talking about, and just be a parent in my lane. So I didn't understand Watch Night Tuesday. I did not understand. I just listened to the message that Pastor was preaching about, and that was about pressing on, just pressing on. And in life, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I enjoy hearing you speak your truth. I can relate with some of it. Thank you. And it's not that I wasn't paying attention to the message. I it just caught my ear, and I was just listening. But it wasn't for me at that time. Someone in the congregation needed that at that time, and that wasn't me. I didn't think it was me. The pressing on. Every message affects you different. And I took it to say, okay, we're going to press on in this new year. We're not going to let anything stand in our way. Whatever we got to walk through, whatever we got to push ourselves through, and we got to, in the mornings, sometimes the pressures of life can be so heavy sometimes you just don't want to get out of bed. And that's where the depression and the anxiety, and that's where all of that comes from. The pressures of life can really press you sometimes. So it can really stop you. It can stop you. And that's when you press, that means I feel like press, I'm just okay, I'm pushing my way through. So I didn't get it then. I did not get it then because I was so focused. I kept looking at my watch, and I had my daughter was telling me about my granddaughter was doing the 12 grape thing, you know. She was going to over to some friend's house. Her friend mom was making a big dinner. I think she maybe, yeah, cooking a big dinner, and they wanted her to invite my granddaughter. And she learned about the 12 grapes. So I Googled it, and I said, well, I want all the spiritual prosperity and all of that stuff too, And so I did the 12 days too. I took my 12 grapes to church, and I was looking at the time, and I was chewing a grape. And so I did that. But regardless of how the year starts, because you know what, there's some people that went through the holiday did not even know, that didn't feel as if they could make it. Some people, the holiday is the worst time of the year for them. especially Thanksgiving and Christmas, especially if the person that's the first when the person is not there, that's the first Christmas, that's the first Thanksgiving. The first of everything is always the hardest because you can always remember, and especially on that person's birthday, you can always remember back. You can always remember back, but when life is lifing, as we like to say, we must continue to press, press our way press our way, get tired, but never get weary. You know, so and you feel what you're gonna feel, but don't never feel hopeless. Because when you feel hopeless, that means you don't have any hope that it's gonna get better. You don't think that it's gonna get better. You don't feel that it's gonna get better. At that moment, you just feel, you feel helpless. But that passed away. That passed away. And that's how I was feeling. I was feeling, and I told my friends, I said, I feel so helpless. There's nothing that I can do, but what I can do. And that's what all I'm doing, and that's all I can do. And I thank God because I did not understand. I didn't understand. Lord, I understand what was coming at me. I didn't understand what was coming at me, and the details that goes into doing what needs to be done, and just the process, just going through the process without being afraid, going through the process without with with being unsure. You still going through the process, don't know, but then you begin to work on what you don't know. Because it'll come to you when you have to get yourself together. Yeah, for me, getting myself together would consist of um it would used to, like, I would take me a long I would take me a long bubble bath. I would have like a little spa day, and everybody gone from the house, have me a spa day, getting my head together. That meant going, getting my lashes done, getting my eyebrows tinted, and getting my toes, getting me a mint of getting my nails and my toes, just doing all of that, and maybe get my hair cut and buy a bottle of perfume. And I'm thinking through all that process, doing all of that, it makes me feel good. And when I feel good, I can think clearly. And so I told my son, "You get your hair cut, get your beard trimmed." And I know how my son is, so that'll that'll make him feel better. And so I have to be empathetic with the pace that he's going to get to that place, not where I want him to be, but to that place where he needs to be. And by the grace of God, and he's going to get there. He is going to get there. And I am going to stay in the lane of a parent. I am going to stay in my lane as the parent of somebody who say they grown. So I'm going to stay in my lane. However, when I see him need help, I help him out. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do because I'm a mama. That's what I do. So all I'm saying, we're going. I needed to get that out. Um, about my son, I'm not going to go into the specifics of what's going on. Is it's baby mama drama. That's the kind of shit that he going through. So I don't allow him to disrespect her in speech. Because he do have a daughter now, and he got a sister and a niece and a mama and a grandma. So you don't disrespect her with the word choice that you use. We don't. That's not what we gonna be doing, because that's them. After all, that is the mother of your children. So, but whatever you're going, whatever challenges you feel like you're going through, or even somebody you know might be going through, you pressing on. Just press on. I pray for strength. I pray for endurance. Strength to endure what whatever my son is going through, and whatever help that I'm going to be for him. Give me the strength and the endurance to do to face this challenge with him by your grace and with your mercy. So, that's been my constant prayer, for the last couple of days. That has been my constant prayer. And I pray out throughout the day about that as well. So good morning, good morning. And life will bring us something so unexpected. And that's where I believe the pressing is the most hardest, when it's unexpected and you just scattered. You don't know what to do. You're just scattered. So, yeah, press on, press on. And I'll be seeing you somewhere. Well, yeah, I'll be seeing y'all somewhere else. Yeah. So if I just happen to pop up on a channel, and if I say what's up, say what's up back, and holler at me, and I'll holler back at you. So as we continue on this journey of life, and as January continue to uh day by day is going to be a new day. Tomorrow is a new day, but we're going to finish today out because it just started and it's Friday. And I think we might need to just sit back and, because Friday just, the new year just came in, man. And it's just like, whoa, it's a new year. So, new mean new. That when you're new, that you got to change something to do something new, to have something new, to be something new. So, and it's going to be one day at a time, 1 month at a time, because that's all we can live. Because before you know it, it's going to be December the 2025. We're going to be going into another year. So let's just live this year being not afraid. Yeah, to whatever that comes your way, you'll find the strength to endure it in that challenge, when you come up against challenges. And I had, and as I said this morning, I was taking my son to work, and the Holy Spirit just dropped that in my spirit. And I'm telling you, I can see things, so I can see clearly. I can see it's not based on emotions or anything like that. I can see what the outcome is going to be, and it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I, it's just the getting there, the going through it. So y'all have a good Friday. Have a good weekend, and be safe. Take them Christmas decorations down. It's time now. It's time. Oh, y'all just have a good day and pray for me, and I'll pray for you, because that's what, as Christians and people, that's what we should always be doing anyway. So pray for me and my family, and I'll pray for you and your family. I may even forget your name, but God know who I'm talking about. So I'm gonna say peace out, deuces, and I'll holler. And when I holler, y'all holler back at me. Bye. Have a good morning.